Hello, everyone. We're going to talk about psychosis from this chapter. And this is something that I really like. I have a lot of mental health experience. So I just have a few stories about people that I worked with that I think will provide examples of what we discussed in this chapter. So, number one, when I worked at the Department of Veterans Affairs, I was in an intake assessment on someone for residential treatment, and I had to determine whether they were stable enough to come in. So, this guy was telling me how in Vietnam he had been in the jungle and rescued a number of prisoners of war. So this is actually could have happened, but it was relatively rare. The more he talked about this, it really resembled the plot of Rambo 3. So we did the intake assessment. It seemed like he met the criteria to come in, that he was stable enough, he would need a higher level of care or immediate antipsychotic medications. Anyways, after interviewing him, he said an additional thing the Viet Cong had done was to cut off all his fingers. So he had all his fingers. He wasn't missing any. So I pointed this out to him, and he said, well, they must have grown back at some point. And so I was like, okay, this guy needs some more help than I thought. Another one that happened is there was someone that I'd worked with who had been worried that the Secret Service had been following him. So he went on a tour at the White House and broke in and went behind the barriers to tell George Bush Sr. to have the Secret Service stop following him. And guess what? The Secret Service started following him. He got registered as a threat to be the president. So in his file, it said, if he were to elope or escape from this secure facility, call the Secret Service immediately. And they even called every 6 months to make sure he was still there. So that's a funny example of a self-fulfilling prophecy.